It goes back to the 1st century, Koine Greek. Aristotle and Plato wrote in an ancient Greek style. Nobody reads that. For one thing, it's not available. Because the oldest manuscripts we have of them are like hundreds of years later. Unlike the New Testament, which you can go bring manuscript evidence right to the 1st century.
However, the earliest forms of the church have taken things out, changed things.
No, they haven't.
There's evidence of it. For example, there's
when you say earliest, you're talking about 1st century. Now when you start getting into the 2nd century, toward the later on end of the 2nd century, there's Gnostics that came in, and they started with their so-called Gnostic Gospels. Gnosticism started getting a toehold in the late 1st century. Then you get into the 3rd century, and it gets worse. Then you get into the 4th century, and that's when Constantine made Christianity a state religion, and that's the beginning of Roman Catholicism. 1st century Christianity, which the Bible goes to, the New Testament goes to, and you have writers like Clement of Rome, Ignatius of Antioch, and others from the 1st century, and we have those letters now. Ignatius of Antioch wrote 7 letters. We have those letters now. So we know, and Clement of Rome wrote several. We have those letters now. I've looked at them. I've read, not all of them, but I've read some of them. They confirm what's in the New Testament.
Which is also misogynistic, if you want to go on that.
Listen, talk to my daughter about that. Talk to my wife about that. I don't condone people making females as second-class citizens or something lower than man. Woman was taken out of man's side to be equal with him, not from his head that she would rule over him, or not from his feet that he would rule over her. She was taken from his side to be a helpmeet, somebody comparable to him. Comparable. And here we have running for the vice presidency, Sarah Palin, who's a Pentecostal Christian.
And she's also a horrible candidate for the vice president. She has very little experience, and
give me a break.
She has 2 years experience as governor, and before that she was mayor of a small town.
Do you know what the qualifications for presidency and vice presidency are? There's an age requirement.
35 years old.
You have to be a citizen.
And you have to be a naturalized citizen.
Okay. She meets all those qualifications, so what's the problem? Nobody complained about John F. Kennedy.
We're recording their discussion.
Executive office.
Oh, excellent.
And Biden, who, by the way, graduated from SU and is guilty of plagiarism. Biden and Obama, they are in the legislative branch. They have no executive experience. It's totally different being in the legislative branch as opposed to the executive branch. But I don't want to get into politics. I'm just saying. She's a born-again Christian, so is her husband. Does he put her down? No.
My husband's Baptist.
My wife has a very important job at one of the hospitals here in Syracuse. Now, do I put her down? Hold her down? Say, no, you couldn't go to college and get your Bachelor of Science degree in this, and you can't do this and that? No.
Come down.
Now headship is different than lordship. I'm not the lord of my wife, but I'm the head of my wife. It's totally different. It means a leadership. It's a leadership positions. For example, if we were going to move back to Oregon, we live here in Syracuse. I'm originally from Syracuse, but we used to live in Oregon. I went to Oregon State University and ESF here at Syracuse. But let's say we're going to move back to Oregon, and she says, "Well, I don't really want to move back there." I said, "Well, I really feel we need to move back there." I would make the ultimate decision. Okay, and she recognizes that.
Do you think it's with like my family?
But what I do is, if there's she's not comfortable with it, well, she wasn't in '85 when I graduated college. She wasn't comfortable moving back to Oregon. I said, okay, we'll stay here.